Imagine being awoken in your bed by adult strangers. They tell you to come with them by cooperation or force. You comply and are led out of your home to an awaiting vehicle. You're driven to the airport, you board a plane, and when you land, you are met by yet another pair of strange adults. You are then led out the doors to a vehicle and blindfolded. Once you reach your destination, you are told to take off your clothes and are inspected by another adult stranger. Only then you're given a homework packet that explains where you are and what you have to do to go home. If all of that does not completely terrify you, if you step out of line, you may be physically assaulted, injected with a sedative, or even placed in isolation by the very people claiming to want to help you. The worst part is that no one will help you. And even if they believe your claims of mistreatment, nobody will be held responsible. This scenario is one familiar to hundreds of youths sent to Utah Provo Canyon School and the other 100 such facilities in our state. According to AMP reports and the Salt Lake City Tribune, Utah is the most popular place to send out-of-state youth suffering from mental, emotional, or behavioral problems. In fact, the AMP reports that 12,000 youth were sent to Utah care facilities over the last 5 years. There have been countless abuse allegations and reports out of Utah residential treatment centers, and yet few charges are ever brought against abusive staff members. This needs to change, and together we can ask our government to hold these caretakers responsible for their abusive actions against our youth. Today, I would like to share with you some of the information about why Utah is chosen for out-of-state placement of troubled youth and the misconceptions that parents and the public may have about these facilities. Then I want to share information about some of the children who face this abuse and have been eternally affected by the actions of staff members in these facilities. Finally, I want to share how the Utah State Code gives these facilities justification to use corporal punishment and what we can do together to change, to protect the youth in our state. The big question is why so many youth are being sent to Utah if there are children claiming abuse. According to AMP reports, Utah ranked as being non-compliant only 1.6% of the time, and it was just for having the wrong paperwork. In 2018, over 86 facilities received a perfect score. Provo Canyon School is one of the most popular in the state, while claiming on their website to, quote, provide quality care by compassionate staff. However, according to Breaking Code Silence, This is Paris, and Kat Von D, they are often punished rather than treated. Next, I want to talk about some stories from those who have been brave enough to speak out and ask for change. In January, a girl was referred to Provo Canyon School from the Oregon foster care and had intellectual and developmental disabilities. In 3 months' time, she was removed by the foster care after being injected 17 times with sedatives, restrained for hours, and even beaten by fellow classmates. She is reported to now be more emotionally damaged than when she was sent here to the best facility to help her. These facilities run like a prison, and children are reprimanded for how they feel about the program during therapy, leading to prolonged stays and then prolonged abuse. Paris Hilton, 20 years after her abuse at Provo Canyon School, has successfully lobbied for the Utah School Reform Bill that will require more frequent inspections and even prohibits the use of pain, restraints, and sedative injections to control children just last month. Is this enough? Finally, I want to share with you the Utah Code after the application of the previously mentioned bill was applied and what we can do to protect our youth. The Utah Code, Title 53G-8-302, says corporal punishment is not allowed to be used on students. However, subsection 304 says corporal punishment cannot be used as a basis for civil or criminal liability. The exceptions for use of corporal punishment against a child are 1, in defense of persons or property, 2, if it is in fulfillment of duty, and 3, if it is reasonable discipline of a child by teachers, parents, or other legal guardians, except if it causes serious bodily injury, physical injury, or death. Further, Utah Code explains that a person has committed abuse of a child with a disability if they inflict physical injury. Isn't that what's happening? The legislation is very vague and has so many loopholes. It is no wonder that abusive staff members are rarely, if ever, charged. Now, I could go on in this circle of Utah law, but we'd be here all day. I have distributed an information sheet that has all of this information and where to learn more. So what can we do? We can start by signing the petition for change that has been passed around to you today and start the fight. I know I've covered a lot of information today, but let's just recap for a moment. First, I shared reasons Utah receives so many youth to our treatment facilities, and I shared information from the youth that have received abuse rather than care. And I shared how the Utah Code is written to give these staff members a way around the law and escape from punishment and responsibility for their actions. We as taxpayers, parents, and family members have a duty to protect our youth because they are our future, and our future deserves to be protected. Thank you.